Mike Bohn here with Alistair Overeem, who is rapidly approaching his return to the kickboxing ring against Rico Verhoeven. Alistair, you are just minutes removed from your first press conference with Rico. You guys did the face-off. You answered questions from the media and everything. What was your big takeaway from today, if you had any?
No real big takeaway. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. It's going to be a big fight for sure. Rico is a good opponent, splendid opponent, champion for a reason. And I don't know. The buzz has started to pick up here. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be 35, 40,000 people in the stadium, and it's going to be totally nuts. October 23.
Yeah, man. I mean, are you like craving to get that feeling of being back in front of a crowd again? And especially, in the Netherlands, your people, it's just going to be such, I imagine, an amazing atmosphere for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. But I don't know. Circle will be complete, right? 24 years ago, started kickboxing. Now we're back, finishing with kickboxing. Yeah, it promises to be just totally crazy.
What about the face-off with Rico? I know these things are kind of old hat for you. You faced off with so many people in different formats. Do you take anything away from it? Like, does that do anything for you, or at this point, is it just all for the cameras?
No, I get some sense and some feel from it. Let's not forget Rico has a lot of experience as well. I have a little bit more experience, but yeah, I'm sure he got something out of it. I got something out of it. It was not all that different from what I expected. I got exactly what I expected. They're coming to win. They're coming to continue their streak. They're coming with a plan, and to me, it's all up to breaking that plan.
So are you doing all your training for this fight in the Netherlands?
No, I've actually been doing camp in Denver.
Okay, so you're still working in Denver. I wasn't sure if you were going back.
Team Elevation.
Very interesting. So do you kind of like, how does the preparation differ at that gym, which is obviously, primarily an MMA gym, in training for this? Are you bringing different people in, working with different coaches, or is it kind of same people as when you're fighting MMA?
Definitely bring in sparring partners, bring in some coaches. But I don't know. Denver is high level striking. Look at my teammates, right? Corey Sandhagen. Look at Dwayne Ludwig is there. Excellent coaches, excellent fighters. I can say I'm impressed with Denver striking.
Interesting. That's awesome. And you got one of your teammates, Curtis Blades, fighting Jairzinho this weekend. How do you think that fight goes?
Yeah. So I've just trained with Curtis last week. He's looking in a great shape. I expect him to get the win on this one.
Yeah. Did he ask you for any advice, coming off that fight with Derek Lewis? Obviously, it was such a big moment, a brutal knockout for him. That's a tough thing to come back for if you don't have the right mentality at a loss like that. Did you guys have any conversations about that fight with him?
Now, Curtis is mentally strong. He doesn't really ask for advice, but we just move around. I give my input. He doesn't ask for it. I think he's mentally very strong. I think he is not bothered by any loss or anything. I think his mind will be just reset. He's going to be all for the win. I think he's a physical specimen. I think he's very strong. I think he's going to be very capable of defeating Rozenstruik. So yeah, I just moved around with him, gave him my pointers. He politely thanked me. That was that. The coaches are really on top of him, working with him a lot, making sure that all the details are there. And I'm just being a good teammate that I can. And the chemistry that we have is very organic. There's no pushing, there's no pulling. It's just I'll just move around with you a little bit. He's looking tremendous. He's looking awesome. And yeah, he's tough. He's a specimen.
That's right. I'm great to hear that. And historically, I know when you fought Curtis, it was before you guys had been training together. But historically, when you've trained with someone, I think of Arlovsky and some of these other things, you do well in the fight. And I know you trained with Rico once or twice back in 2013. Is there anything you can take away from that at this point, or is it too long ago?
No, it's long ago. But I don't know. The way my mind works is I'll, of course, take some away from that. But I have to say that Rico has grown a lot as a fighter, as a person since then. So, yeah. But then again, there's a lot of fights to analyze. There's a lot of video. So we just need to be doing my homework. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, and more than 10 years since your last kickboxing fight. Do you think the game has changed at all, like in terms of, tactics, style, how guys are going in there? Or do you think it's pretty similar to what you were doing, the last time you competed in kickboxing?
No, the level always is evolving, and I think Rico has evolved significantly. He's been on the top for a while, so I think when I look at his game, he's always getting better every fight. So yeah, he's definitely a different type of kickboxer. Definitely, also has size on the size advantage. So he's definitely a different animal than the other kickboxers from 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I know you said at the press conference that you think, yeah, he's the best kickboxer you've ever fought. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Like, what do you think is so unique about his skill set?
Well, he has the ability to switch things up. He actually works with the game plan. It's also his coach. They're doing their homework. They're analyzing. They're looking for weaknesses. Yeah, without giving too much away, they're good. They're good.
And what about for you? I mean, obviously, you are primarily a striker, and I'm sure that was the focus of a lot of your training for MMA and these final UFC fights. But now you get to shed, the aspects of takedown defense and grappling and stuff. Like, how much has that freed up your training camp? And does it feel good to just be able to focus on one specific element instead of mixing in, all the martial
Only
arts?
striking, only striking. But I don't know. It became a little bit more physical, right? A little bit more impacts. I enjoy it though, right? Yeah, I've been doing it for a little bit. So no, but it's to me it's fun. It's fun to switch things up. Fun and interesting. Also, what the puzzle Rico brings.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, for you, like, is it a difficult adjustment at all? Like, I'm sure there's things when it comes to defense, offense, the way, just minimal tactics and strategies that from MMA to kickboxing, you have to adjust. Has it been, a difficult thing to pick back up? Obviously, you're doing it for a long time before, but to revert back to that and shed all the MMA instincts, has that been challenging in any way?
No, 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 no. I've been kickboxing for a little bit now. Again, started with kickboxing a long time ago. What is that, 28, 29 years ago? So it's just back to the roots. It is kind of limited fighting, but yeah, you just need to put time into it. And I've been doing just that.
Do you think you're done with MMA, or are you still leaving the door open to go back there at some point?
I'll leave the door open on a little bit.
Just a little bit. Is there anything there that's still lingering that you kind of want to accomplish, or would it just have to be, the right fight, the right opportunity, and if not, it's probably done?
Right fight, right opportunity. I was looking for that Fader fight. That was something that would interest me because that was there was some buzz behind that 10 years ago. It didn't materialize. Didn't materialize this time. Can't blame Fedor. He's getting, what is he, 46, 47. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I think that's one of the ones that we wanted to see, but I'm sure you understand the reality of the situation, and everything. In terms of MMA, like, is there any other stones unturned, or are you very satisfied with everything you did in that sport?
Only UFC belt missing on my wall. We were so close. We were so close. No, it is what it is. I'm. If there would be one thing I could have changed, wanted, that would have been the UFC belt. But on the other hand, so many beautiful victories, so many exciting moments. It is what it is. I'm
Is
proud and happy
there
about it.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything that's, particularly close to your heart when you think of, the MMA fights? Is there one that really sticks with you?
Good or bad or both? I don't know. Brock Lesnar fight was awesome. Vitor Belfort fights, both of them were awesome. Stipe fight was awesome, although that didn't fall in my court. Junior Dos Santos fight definitely was awesome. The Verdum fights, three of them, but one was in UFC, the other two not. Awesome. Alowski, can't forget Alowski. It's been even Augustus Sakai was awesome, no audience. Walt Harris, the later fights. It's a lot of excitement there.
Yeah, so many great ones. Such a great career for you. Were you disappointed at all with how the UFC tenure came to an end, though? I mean, I'm sure you would have liked the win to keep going, but it's just like your parting ways comes out in the media suddenly. There was no. We saw, this past weekend with Carlos Condit and Joseph Benavidez retiring. They put a video montage on the broadcast. We didn't get any of that for you, and I felt like if anyone, you deserve that. So when you think back at the UFC, is it all positive? Is there any negative feelings towards the way things ended there?
Well, listen, I'm professional. I'm realistic. This is something that the UFC can do after you lose, right? That's one of the terms in their contracts. They can release you from the contract. I've had a good time with the UFC. They can do this. Maybe it was time for younger generation to come in. We cannot forget I am 41 years old. I am getting a little bit older. If it was up to me, I would have liked to finish in the UFC, but it was not up to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we're seeing this evolution of combat sports. There's so many legends fights going on. People are leaving the UFC and doing other things. You mentioned Vitor Belfort there. I'm curious, did you watch his fight with Evander Holyfield? And do you think that's kind of maybe like a bridge too far of guys sticking around the fight game? A 58-year-old Evander Holyfield.
I didn't like to see that, to be honest. I think when you're 58 years old, that's not good. That's not good. With all due respect to both, Vitor is a great athlete. Evander Holyfield is a legend. Vitor as well. I just didn't like to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it made a lot of people uncomfortable. And do you think that's? I mean, you've seen so many different.
Because Evander didn't have a full training camp, I believe.
Correct? Yeah, I know he was like training, hoping to get a fight, but yeah, he only knew Vitor was going to be the opponent for like 10 days, and it all came together really short. So like he didn't have, this date, this opponent, this weight class for 3 months or something.
I mean, that was a little bit difficult to watch. I think Evander did have weight on Vitor, but I don't know. It does, in the end, ultimately need to make sense. That kind of maybe made sense on paper before they made that fight, but then eventually I didn't like to see it.
Yeah, do you think that's the toughest part for, no matter what combat sport, whether it's boxing, kickboxing, MMA, like the just deciding when to stop and when to know the right time. And of course, you guys want to fight forever, and you seem to be one of the most realistic people I've ever talked to when it comes about that in terms of like your, physical capacity, what's next. Do you think it's the toughest thing to know when to stop, and maybe it's on the other people around you to kind of help you make that decision too, right?
It is difficult ultimately, because as a fighter, you just want to continue, and then the people around might want you to continue or to stop. But in that case of Evander Holyfield, I mean, because he had 10 days notice, so that's not a real camp. I don't know. And that age is bothering me a little bit, right? 58 years old. It's not.
Yeah. You're not going that long, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, I even think that my age is kind of limited, right?
Yeah.
And I'm realistic about it. My end is also coming. It's going to be final year, and then it's over. It's done.
You think one more year?
Yeah, 1 year, 1.5. It needs to be wrapped up in a year and a half. 18 months, it needs to be over.
There you go. And last thing, Alistair, go ahead.
But we have to be realistic.
Of course. Yeah. And one thing I did want to say, like, I've talked to you a lot of different times, Alistair. You seem very happy right now, and you seem to be, in very positive spirits. Is there anything you can attribute that to? I mean, I've interviewed you many times over the years, and I feel like right now, talking to you, this is in one of the best places I've ever seen you.
No, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm training hard. Yeah. I don't know. A lot has happened in the last 6 months, right? The release, and then finding a new promotion, and getting enthusiastic again, and figuring out training camp, and so a lot of steps have happened. But I don't know. I just love my life. I love what I'm doing. Love the sport, and I don't know. Just happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and to get back to this, to return to kickboxing, to get a win over Rico, would this be, the cherry on the top of an absolutely unbelievable career? I mean, do you think this would be, almost a fairy tale end for you? I mean, I know there's a rematch clause and all this stuff, and another fight on the contract, but would this be kind of the pinnacle for you?
That would be beautiful, right? So very happy with the opportunity to close the career in a beautiful way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything is possible.
For sure, man. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad you got this opportunity to do this in front of your people. I think this is a big moment that kickboxing needs, and I'm glad you're kind of bringing your star power back over to the sport and obviously, elevating it, especially in your home country. So I think this is awesome, and really appreciate the time as always, Alistair.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.